Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Diana, and today I wanted to sit down and just chat with you guys, make an impromptu video on compatibility, because that is one of the hot topics of astrology. I always get questions like, Diana, I'm a Virgo, am I compatible with my Pisces boyfriend? Hello, I need help. And so today I'm here to give you some tips, tricks, and techniques and just my insight on compatibility. Before I get into the content, I just want to remind you guys that I do have my bundle deal going on my website through the rest of this week, where if you purchase the regular birth chart reading, you will get a 2019 horoscope as well, so I could analyze the major players in the sky and how they are affecting you for the rest of this year. And without further ado, let's just talk about compatibility and love in astrology. So compatibility is kind of a huge, broad subject in astrology, because I can say, that if you have a Venus in Leo and you're with a Venus in Pisces, you guys are compatible in a romantic sense, right? You guys are both about flowers, roses, and love, Pisces in an unconditional sense, and then maybe Leo more in a praising, physical, touchy sense, right? Compatibility isn't just that alone. A lot of times I find in astrology, like, people are looking to see if the person that they're with, I guess, is compatible enough to be their long-term partner or marriage partner. And a lot of times, to get to that point, no matter how many beautiful, wonderful aspects you have in a synastry chart, it's gonna take work on your part in a practical sense. Here's the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about compatibility. So if you guys are doing like synastry charts, or you contact an astrologer to do your synastry charts, where you overlay your chart over the other person's chart and see what points are connected to each other, and say that the chart is wonderful, right? The synastry chart, you guys have Moon and Venus aspects, so you guys have that love. You guys have Jupiter Venus aspects, so one of you guys is like overjoyed by the other person and just makes the other person feel that way, and you have good Mars aspects, so you guys have that sexuality going. Well, yeah, you guys are gonna get along great. You guys are gonna get along like best friends and have that sexy thing to your relationship. But at the same time, a lot of people forget to look back at the individual chart alone, because a person can attract or be with their Prince Charming, like the perfect person, but if their Venus is afflicted, say that in their regular chart they have Venus square Saturn, they're gonna feel insecure. So this is your boyfriend. Say your boyfriend has, Venus square Saturn, and you have your Jupiter over their Venus, let's say. You can give this person a lot of love and make them feel like, do your best to make them feel joy, but because their Venus is square Saturn, there's going to be some insecurities. They're not going to know how to be able to handle that love from you, or they're going to withdraw or something like that. And then that becomes an issue of, yes, you guys are compatible, but that person still has issues to work with. Another thing that I notice about relationship, like compatibility and synastry, so this is point number 2, is that a lot of times the universe is going to send us what we need, not what we want. So if you pray to God for strength or to be more assertive, for example, if you have been if you're a person that's easily taken advantage of, God is probably gonna send you and a person who's very strong and assertive, probably a strong Saturn, a Capricorn, to kind of break you down and maybe you feel a little bit belittled, so then you can grow some balls and fight back and stand up for yourself. And hopefully, you know, if the stars align and the planets are in a place where you are eventually going to realize that, or you have a really strong, let's say, Mars return, then you're going to be able to break off that relationship. So I guess what I'm getting at is that a lot of relationships are karmic. It's rare for people to find their soulmate or their twin flame, unless it's written in the stars for you, of course. And in general, I rarely see people that are in those, like, you know, rom-com types of relationships in today's day and age. I mean, it could be because Neptune's in Pisces, you know, and that doesn't really allow us to, it gives us the hope and the want and the fantasy, but it's not really how it actually is. And that's another thing, is like, people maybe may crave that type of relationship because they are under the illusion that a lot of like their friends, you know, are in this this Instagram perfect type of relationship, right? It's very Neptune and Pisces, where the couple is always at Disneyland, or they're like in this beautiful home on the couch with their puppy and kissing each other. But that's not how it really is. A lot of times, like I said, people are going to attract karmic relationships that are gonna help you work through lessons, that you're gonna get people that are gonna help bring the darkness or the things that you're suppressed up to light, so you can heal yourself. And then maybe after that, the relationships that you get afterwards, after you leave that karmic relationship, get a little bit better, but there's still going to be some type of conflict or energy that you have to go through. So it's not going to be smooth sailing all the time for you to for an astrologer to tell you, yes, you guys are 100% compatible and you guys will be able to just get along all the time, right? That's not realistic. The other thing about this, now speaking more on astrological terms, is that we're going to usually end up with people who have what we lack. For example, in my chart, I have like no Earth except for my midheaven and Uranus and Neptune and Capricorn, but then those are more generational planets. So I have no Earth. I really have, you could say, no structure. I'm kind of a hot mess, and I don't have good attention to detail. A mess doesn't bother me. I have no Virgo, no Taurus, and hardly any Capricorn, even though on camera I can appear like I have it together because that's my Neptune and my midheaven and stuff. But I attract a lot of people with a lot of Earth. My last boyfriend was a triple Capricorn. My current boyfriend is a strong Taurus, and he has a strong Saturn in his chart. And it's very hard because I'm a more creative person. I like be more artsy, and he doesn't. He wants to be on top of things, responsible, attention to detail, and I need that, even though that's going to cause a lot of conflict in my relationship. So with your chart, if you lack fire, you're probably going to attract a fire person to kind of ignite something in you that's going to shake you up a little bit, and that can cause conflict while you're still over there paying the bills and being responsible, right? So a lot of times I find that you attract what you're missing. Astrology, one of the things that often gets overlooked if you're looking at synastry is Mercury. Because Mercury overall is going to represent how you think, and it's your perspective. A lot of times with compatibility, you do want to find somebody that's compatible with your moon sign, but even if it's like in the same element, you guys are gonna clash, right? So in a sense, I think it's better that you go for a moon sign that kind of fills in what you're missing. So if you have the moon in Leo, maybe lean towards a moon in Taurus or something, because then they can kind of help mellow out your dramatic tendencies and kind of bring you in a more zen state of mind, let's say. But anyways, as I was saying, Mercury is important because that's how you think, and your perspective. So you wanna, a lot of times couples have communication issues because they have different perspectives than the other person. So if you're a Mercury in Taurus and you're kind of more stubborn and more fixated because you go off of habits and what makes you comfortable and you don't like being uncomfortable, you may want to be more with a Mercury in not Taurus, because that would clash, but maybe a Mercury in Libra, let's say, who can understand that and respect that, right? Instead of a Mercury in Aries that's like, no, like, and tries to change you and motivate change out of you, when no, that's just gonna eventually cause you to bring up the horns, right? If you have Mercury in Taurus. So people underestimate the power of Mercury is what I'm trying to say. And the other thing about compatibility in relationships is that at the end of the day, and this is kind of emphasizing my first point, whatever relationship you're in, you have to work on your own issues for the relationship to be successful. I guess the person that you're with can kind of spark the change, but you have to be willing to change, or the person you're with can actually bring things up to your attention. And I guess the other thing too is that you are at free will to end a relationship or move on or find somebody that that you feel like you're better with. Obviously, astrology or Neptune transits can cause a little bit of fog as far as where your relationships are headed, or if you go through a strong Saturn transit, that can bring up people that are very Saturnian that help mold your life or structure your life. I'm thinking about doing a synastry chart on Priyanka Chopra, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name, and Nick Jonas, because that was kind of like a surprising relationship this year. That relationship was very unconventional. So anyways, let me know if you guys would like to see that on my channel and what else you would like to see on my channel in general. And you guys have a wonderful day.